Welcome back from the Sinnoh Tour Arbor League. I hope everyone got a good haul, did a lot of raids, got a lot of Stardust, and leveled and all that fun stuff. But today we're back to the grind, taking a look at XL Beedrill in the Ultra League. We have a DCCA rating for the team, so like and subscribe and turn notifications on, and let's take a look at level 51 Best Buddy BEEDRILL in the Open Ultra League. XL Beedrill is rated number 522 with a score of 66.5. It is anti-meta at best as it loses to a lot of heavy hitters, but it still holds up against some other pretty common picks. It has moderate bulk, but it leans more on the glass cannon side of things, as reflected in the stats. Beedrill only gets up to 2087 CP, and with Best Buddy 2112. But despite all that, it still wins CMP against some Pokemon that you would think otherwise win, like Goon, Walrein, Aurorus, and the Swords of Justice, Virizion, and Cobalion. According to PV Poke, it is said that Beedrill is better as a lead, but I was finding it hard to come back from bad leads, so looking at its charger stats, Beedrill is great ahead on energy. So we've paired it up with Goon in the lead and Tentacruel Safe Swap, another great pick, as it might steal the show today here. Getting into the commentary, we're going to go down to a Dragon Claw here, but not before we get off some Night Slash damage. Not able to make that other one, and we have to rely on Beedrill and Tentacruel to close this match here. We're going to come in with the Beedrill, trying to get to that drill run. They do have access to Ancient Power, and it is going to hurt because the Rock Taken super effective on the bugs. Does about 50% of Beedrill's health. Gonna get farmed down by that Skeledirge, but our timer was up just in the nick of time. And Tentacruel here can take a couple Shadow Balls. They do about 30% of its health, so we will be able to take the next one, but not the third. This Scald here is not going to KO. So we are going to have to farm down, and we get the attack drop, which is wonderful. They're going to have to throw another Shadow Ball here, but because we got the attack drop, we're going to get really lucky here. We're resisting the Incinerates, able to farm down the Skeledirge and come out with a Scald. The opponent comes back in with that Greninja, but Greninja is kind of glassy. It's been damaged already, so the Scald will be taking out their Greninja, and all that's left is the Giratina. We quickly swap into the Beedrill and have that drill run stored. Taking out the Giratina, this one, Beedrill closing the game for us. Hopping into the next match, we got Goon and the Skizzer, not too bad. The bug will be taking neutral from these counters, also from the Night Slashes, so we just go for it as soon as possible. But they get to theirs first because Skizzer wins CMP, revealing that they only have Night Slash and not X-Scissor. We're totally okay staying here. We would be taking super effective, but these Night Slashes hoping for the boost, and they shield because Skizzer is pretty glassy, but they've got a Greninja in the back that they should have saved the shield for, because here comes a Cross Chop. Because it's not stab, it will not KO the Greninja, but it will get it pretty low where we can come in with Tentacruel and farm down. Don't have to worry about these Night Slashes too much. They're neutral, but they're not going to get to another one before we get farmed down. We sneak a Poison Jab through, and this Greninja's not having a very good day. Now that we're loaded on energy, the Skizzer coming back in will have to take a Scald if they do, but they reveal that they have a Venusaur, and this is wonderful because we have a Beedrill on the team that walls this. We've got the bug and the poison versus the grass and the poison here. And if they want to win in that matchup, they have to go Sludge Bomb versus the Beedrill. I know it's resisted, but it's single resisted versus Frenzy Plant against the bug and the poison, which is double resisted. Still got shield advantage up against the Venusaur here. We don't have to shield a damn thing here. This, the build Beedrill is kind of glassy. I don't think I have it best buddied in this set, but we can take a Frenzy Plant. Skizzer comes back in. The drill run is neutral, so we can swap in right after this. They get the shield, and we can just build up to the Cross Chop here. They're going to have to throw an Iron Head, but not before we get to the Night Slash. The Night Slash will not KO, and they need to get as much energy off as possible here before they go down. We're not able to get to the next Night Slash, and I'm just going to let this go. Beedrill can comfortably farm down. If they do get a Night Slash off here, we can shield. That's the only thing that's going to hurt coming from the remaining Pokemon is a Night Slash or an Iron Head. So getting rid of this, Skizzer here, farming down, and there's Shieldless coming in with a drill run and taking out this Venusaur. And I do have Fell Stinger here, and I have X-Scissor posted. Beedrill taking the win. But X-Scissor is the preferred move set. I was trying Fell Stinger just to boost up the Poison Jabs. If we're in a Charmer matchup, we just make those Poison Jabs do a little bit more damage here. We will have to shield the Focus Blast here in this next match, but the Cross Chops will be adding up to the Reggie after a while, so I'm thinking of trying to catch something, not right at the moment. There, I didn't quite make it, so I will have to shield because the Focus Blast will be 4 times effective. So we're going to go ahead and throw another move here just in case before they get to their next one. We're about 1.5 Night Slashes before they get to one. So one more counter and we will swap. They don't shield and we catch. Hopefully this is the Focus Blast up against the Beedrill here. Would be double resisted. And it is. So Beedrill able to take that hit. I think we're going to be able to farm down, but just to make sure, I wanted to get this Fellstinger off, boost our attack, and secure the KO. 2 more poison jabs, take out the Reggie, and we have a Giratina coming back in. And now that this drill run is boosted, it's not going to do too much damage. It is neutral, not stab. But against the Giratina here, kind of bulky. It still does a solid amount of damage here. So again, Beedrill, a glass cannon. Not the bulkiest, but a heavy hitting attack. Gonna get taken out by a Dragon Claw here. No need to throw the Ancient Power because we've got them lined up against the Giratina. We just have to see what else they have in the back. In comes a Poliwrath. I should have thrown that Cross Chop, but I was a little antsy. So we can swap into the Tentacruel here and hard wall this Poly as well. So it looks like that we're going to be saving our shields and make this Giratina go down with 2 shields. So we resist everything here. The Icy Wind's not doing too much damage. Now there's Scalds on the other hand, unless we get the debuff with our Scald. Probably about 3 of them you might need, plus the counters have to start shielding. But we're going to let one of these go through. They do want to throw the Scald this time. They don't get the debuff on it, so I'm just going to go straight for the farm down and throw these Scalds up against a Giratina. It's not going to hurt them too much, but at least we can go for a debuff. Again, not too worried because we have it perfectly lined up with the Obstagoon. They can just throw their Dragon Claws here or Ancient Power, waste their energy. Not quite taking us out, and we get to one more Scald, so Tentacruel doing its job. Again, like I said, it might steal the show a little bit sometimes here, and they don't shield a Scald because they don't have to, because it's not very effective, but because they didn't do that, these Dragon Claws not doing too much damage up against the Obstagoon, and we're just going to counter this down. It counters non-stab, and double resisted due to Giratina's ghost typing. So we can take about 5 more Dragon Claws here. We're not going to shield this next one. Nothing else they can throw hurts us. So Obstagoon able to double resist, non-stab, counter down the Giratina. So I think this is where I switched over to having the best buddy sets. Now we have a Guzzlord, pretty good match here for us. The Dragon Tails, might add up after a little while, but this is a negative match for the Guzzlord as we've got some fighting moves and we're ready to just unload these cross chops at it. Again, Guzzlord not the tankiest in Ultra League as well due to the weakness. We're getting these Dragon Claws across. Getting to the next cross chop, but we hold our energy and in comes a Skeledirge, and I should have thrown a Night Slash here just to get some chip damage off on the Skeledirge, but we're not too bad. We're comfortable here taking a Shadow Ball, and now that we see how much a not debuffed Shadow Ball does, kind of uncomfortable here because this next one will be getting us pretty low, but they don't shield the Scald, was pretty good. So now we're able to farm down again. We're in the same position as before. So I shield this next one up just in case. And they do full send the Shadow Ball. Would have been more uncomfortable if they baited us with Disarming Voice. But we're able to get the farm down and win switch with Tentacruel. So Tentacruel proving its worth once again. Despite poison up against a Ghost, we've got water here. And they come in with a Ho-Ho. So it's a good thing that we've won switch because we don't want to see this on our Beedrill. So they will have to shield a Scald because Ho-Oh is not the tankiest in Ultra League. But we get to another one. It's still moderately bulky, but not up against super effective water moves. In comes the Guzzlord, farming us down. But in turn, we're going to get some farm here, and I'm just going to force them to throw their energy. I want to end the game with Obstagoon. They're going to go ahead and throw the Crunch, debuffing us, but not before we're able to farm down. And let's see how much this drill run here. We're able to survive and incinerate. That is crazy. So Beedrill proving its worth as well. Drill run, not doing too much damage, but we've got about 2 Night Slashes here. And even without the boost, we're able to pull this off here. We still have a shield advantage. Obstagoon going to be closing it for us this time. Getting the unnecessary boost. This next Night Slash will KO the Ho-Oh. Even if they didn't go Brave Bird, an Incinerate comes through, but we're able to close this one with Obstagoon. Opponent quits mid-Night Slash and goes down. So hopping into this next one here, we got Cresselia, sort of an awkward match because they do have access to Moonblast and Future Sight. So I should have caught a Moonblast on something here because now they outpace us and we're going to have to eat this. I'm really hoping that it's Moonblast, but it's a future sight and Tentacruel still survives and we're able to bait out a Mewtwo. So double Psychic so far, but not before we try to go for a debuff of our own. And we do get the attack drop. The Confusion's not taking us out, and we're able to get to another one. So Tentacruel, again, proving worth that it is bulky enough. This one is a rank 6, I believe. We've got 0, 15, 15. So we're able to come back in with the Obstagoon, and because their attack was lowered, even if it wasn't, see if they have Dynamic Punch. It's not Stab, plus the attack debuff, and we're able to get another Night Slash off. Heavily resisting these Confusions, Obstagoon will be able to take out this Mewtwo or get another shield, and we're going to shield in turn. We still have, make this a 1-to-1 shield scenario, and I think we actually counter this down because we outpace. So able to resist, counter down the Mewtwo, and get off a cross chop here versus this Greninja that just came in. Again, it doesn't do a whole lot of damage, but we simultaneously swap. We know they have Future Sight, but we're going to try to get this Cresselia as low as possible, get a bunch of chip damage off, and make them waste their energy. They're not falling for these fell stinger baits here.
Oh no.
Like I said, should have been an X Scissor, but we get KO'd by the Future Sight, so I was willing to let that go. Trying to come in here with the Obstagoon, get as much Night Slash damage off as possible, getting to the next one, and this will be getting the Cresselia pretty low, if not KOing. We haven't gotten the boost yet, but they shield in turn, and this is getting pretty dicey because they have double nukes here. So this Moonblast, Future Sight, we do shield up the Moonblast, but now there's still a Greninja to deal with. Do we get there? And yes, we do. We get to the cross chop versus the Greninja. Getting the Greninja out of the way, and can we make it to the next Night Slash? Can we? Come on, let's go! And we do, and we win CMP. So Night Slash going to be taking out the Cresselia, making it a really close game. So hopping into the next match here, we got Obstagoon up against Aggron. Pretty comfortable for us. Tentacruel can also handle this. All resisted, but they're staying in, throwing 2 smackdowns, and surrendering. So probably just absolutely core broken by Obstagoon. Next match is another positive lead for us up against the Tentacruel, but they swap into the Poliwrath, and again we have Tentacruel to hard wall them absolutely. So things not looking too great for the opponent. We've got them countered on lead and countered on swap. They're lowering our attack, but not before we get to another Scald, so hopefully we get the debuff on this one. Doesn't matter to me either way, it just makes it a little bit more comfortable, as if they do go straight Scald, like I was saying, it does get a little uncomfortable because it does more damage than the non-stab Icy Wind, and it doesn't matter if they lower our attack because this Sludge Wave, it will still come close to KOing Poliwrath. Poliwrath is still pretty bulky, so winning this in the straight zeros, no matter what they do. Scald, as you can see, the damage might have been a little bit more if they had thrown 3 of them, but again, it takes a little bit longer to get to, but we take Switch and we get another Scald off. There's not going to do a whole lot of damage onto the Reggie, but hoping for a debuff, and we get it. So they get a little bit more farm by locking us down a little bit more, but I'm totally okay with that. So we've still got a shield advantage. Shield, I'm going to come in with Beedrill here actually because we resist the Focus Blast, and they need 2 Zap Cannons to take out anything, but they throw Focus Blast for whatever reason there, and there's just the Trevenant left. So I guess the should have stayed in there versus the Reggie, but now we can come in here and we're at a Night Slash with the Obstagoon, and doesn't matter too much here what the opponent does. The Seed Bombs will be doing neutral to Obstagoon, but Obstagoon's pretty tanky as well. This one is a raid, a good raid, ranked one, because I guess it was from an egg, and it's just what I had at the time, and I wasn't too worried about IVs back then, but still looking for that better Obstagoon to build that has more leaning towards a 0 attack, but we're getting a shield here. Seed Bomb getting us pretty low. We're able to get to the cross chop here, and I'm still not shielding because the lock-ons, we're not worried. The Shadow Claws, we're not too worried, and we can still make a catch on Beedrill if we have to. We still have a shield advantage, and this Reggie might start have to shield these eventually, and they do. We're getting locked on down, but do we make it to another cross chop? And we do. So Obstagoon IVs kind of matter, I guess don't matter, but we're getting to another cross shop here, taking out the Reggie, saving 2 shields for the Beedrill onto the Trevenant, and we can farm down. Beedrill taking that win, getting that screenshot. So XL level 51 Beedrill in the Open Ultra League. It was sort of hard to make Beedrill work, so this was sort of a best of compilation, and the last set was one of the few 4-1s that I actually pulled off. I recommend not building one if you are trying to rank up, as it definitely falls into the spice category. It was still a ton of fun to run and a challenge to make it work, but it's more of a spice pick for experienced trainers, but still fun to watch Spice beat some pretty sweaty meta teams. If you enjoyed the video, then like, subscribe, and leave a comment and tell me what you think, because there will be much more Pokemon Go and TCG content to come. And don't forget to check out the Discord, where we can stream some sets, play some cards, or see insights into my work, or just come out and hang out and have fun. So come check out the friendly community. But that's all I've got for today, guys, so thank you again so much for watching. I've been ArborAndy. Keep your sticks on the ice, and I'll see you buds in the next one.